welcome. Okay, here we are with the worst season videos we're behind on, so I'm gonna give you guys like 3 at one time right now. And of course, we're gonna like run this at double the speed. So here we are, War 8 against Noon, and right now I'm up against a Node 3, I think R4 Sersi. You know, I've never seen this defender on this node all season. So in typical Sentinel-like fashion, we're going to build to 100 charges. Make sure we keep the regen up and, you know, just parry heavy, keep the shots rolling. SP1 for the heal block, get our SP2 when we can. And that'll pretty much be the, you know, typical Sentinel versus Sersi, or 99% of the fights on this node rotation, you know. We fire our special too, doesn't matter if we hit it directly or the block, our debuffs will trigger. And, you know, normally I use the minute intervals, like by the 4-minute mark I should be fully ramped up. By the 3-minute mark, Sersi should be anywhere from like 25 to 30% health loss. We were 25 at that 3-minute mark. Then usually around 40 to 45% by the 2-minute mark, and you know, that's how I use those as indicators that we're not about to time out. See there, we just fired a special into her block, and we didn't worry about hitting her directly to get our heal block back. Here we are at the 2-minute mark, we're under 40%, so we're like in no like hesitation that, hey, we're gonna time out. Here I did let my heal block expire, so I did eat a combo just to not trigger the big node regen until I got my heal block up. Sentinel's very tanky, so we weren't really worried. And Sersi's down to like 8-9%, so yeah, you know, a couple of heavies, SP2, she'll be down. I mean, that one heavy done took off 4%, so this heavy should do it. And there we go. Like I said, I never fought Sersi on that node all season. Alright, now here we are, node 9, and we have the Unduped Sersi, who I've heard, you know, is a lot harder than Duped Sersi, because Duped Sersi has her own regen that, you know, it helps to ramp you up. Unduped Sersi, she doesn't have the regen, so the only way you can get regen is from the node itself. But, you know, I've heard the fight was tough and hard, but to me, I was like, I feel like you would fight it like any character who doesn't have their own regen here. So the big thing is making sure to keep the node regen active. Here I got the SP2, let my heal block expire, but hey, we managed to get the heal block back before we re-triggered the regen from the node. And you know, I'm going off my typical fashion where first minute is just ramping up Sentinel. Once I hit that 3-minute mark, you know, if I'm like 25 to 30% of her health going, then I know we're good to go. So we fire SP2 into her block for big damage, and like I said, we're constantly making sure we have the regen active. So we did off like 24% within the first minute of the fight. Like I said, I don't count my first minute of actually fighting her, let's go with that. So I'm like, okay, cool, we're not in problem for timing out or anything, you know. By minute 2, ideally, you know, Sersi has like around 40% or less health remaining. So I'm like, okay, we'll gauge that, and that'll give us a good idea of like, alright, will we actually time out on a fight like this? And, you know, here she is at 41%. I think we're at like 38% against the rank 4 Dupe Sersi. So we're like, yeah, we're 3% above where we were previously, so I'm like, there's no reason why we should time out here. So the trick to this node was always keeping your regen active. The regen is active, your charges go up, your damage goes up. And here we are at 10%, we're not even at the 1-minute fight, we were at 8% last time. Here we've entered the 1 minute remaining at 7%, which was less than the previous fight, and I think we actually finished this quicker than the previous fight. So there you go, Unduped Sersi definitely can solo. Alright, why is my screen black? Alright, here we are, we're number 10 against a rank 4 Sasquatch from GT40. Previously, the only death timeout I had this whole season was against the Sasquatch, where I had what was it? The mastery that reduces healing potency. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. Despair. Yeah, I had max despair because I was doing fights in the Wheel of Fate that war, and unfortunately having max despair and all the debuff Sentinel applies, we turned off Sasquatch healing completely. Like no node regen, no regen from Sasquatch himself, and that really messed us up that round. Now this time we're here to get our revenge. We do not have max despair. So here we're just getting pummeled in the corner. You know, just typical Forgotten fashion. But hey, now we're out. Actually, I'm still in the corner. Hey, well, you know, now we're getting out. But like I said, so here we are. First minute, we took off like 25% of Sasquatch health, which is about average for most Node 3 fights when I'm using Sentinel. So I'm like, okay, we're doing good. You know, we fire our SP2 again. As long as Sasquatch is like, you know, in that 40% range by the time we hit the 2-minute mark, you know, we're still doing good. And yeah, we're already like 43%. We're not even at the end. Here I am just getting pummeled away. Unfortunately, I got 8-day SP2. Took that block hit. But luckily, the power gain from Sentinel pushed us to SP3 because those ruptures hurt. This won't do much damage. Sentinel's very tanky. Plus, we have like the SP3 reduction boost. See, we didn't even take barely 5%. But yeah. So because of both of those SP3 animations, we're not at the health that we would like by the 1-minute mark, but we're not worried about timing out because, you know, we've seen what our damage is like. Like Sasquatch cannot handle these debuffs right now. And there we go. We got our revenge, we soloed the Sasquatch. And now we're good to go finally. Let me pause this going off. So thank you guys for tuning in. I still have 2 more wars to upload. I'm gonna do those separately. You know, one I finally moved off of Node 3. And that was actually my favorite war and my quickest fight I had. So stay tuned because all of those will be dropping today so I can have these finally out the way. Peace.